right, so this week we are streaming Rogue Legacy.
Rogue Legacy 2.
That is yes, thank you for the correction on that. And we are also
Yeah.
not streaming it; we are just playing it.
Right. Yeah. Our Twitch is jacked up right now, but we'll get it fixed eventually. So we're not playing this live. This will be recorded, but it's the same thing.
So, tell me about your memories of the original Rogue Legacy.
We streamed the original Rogue, Jesus, Legacy when it first came out, and that was kind of when the Rogue games were really starting to become big upon the indie developers are starting to make a lot of these types of games, and Rogue Legacy, I think that
Was
and like
one of
Spelunky
the
was like,
original, yeah.
yeah, with like this is the game that's gonna get everybody to know about Rogue games, and we played it, and I think we liked it at the time, because it was something at the time. It was kind of new because yeah, there was Rogue games way back when, but these are the games that brought it, highlighted it and
Yeah.
brought it to the forefront where people noticed it. So, yeah, I knew they were making Rogue Legacy 2. I didn't even know this came out on PC. I'm sure it's only inevitable before it reaches a console here or there,
Yeah, and
but
it's early access, so
okay, yeah,
take that with a
there we
grain of
go.
salt.
Yeah, so it's still not even complete yet, but yeah, it's one of those. It'll be a 2021 game, I'm sure, if it's in early access for PC and then eventually consoles too.
Yeah. It
But
takes.
yeah, I mean,
I'm
I
having
like it.
issues with my controller, with latency and stuff. So, some of the weirdness that you see going on is half me, half my controller. So don't blame the game if there's
Yeah.
any weirdness going on. Um, there is. I do have some complaints about how the game itself controls.
Yeah.
It is absolutely not perfect. Uh, there are problems. It's not like, the be all end all of, you know, everything. I think that, so the first Rogue Legacy game, I definitely think that you could get stuck in the very beginning of the game. There was like a difficulty spike at the beginning of the game that you could get stuck at very easily. Um, and like you would sort of just get stuck there and kind of grind for a while, and that once you ground in the very beginning of the game, uh, there'd be like huge sections of the game that would be easier afterwards.
Hmm.
Um, like after you've put in X amount of hours, uh, grinding. Fuck. Uh, like I thought that like clearing the first boss was way more difficult than the second boss, but that's because for some reason, like I was way over leveled when I cleared it, so I don't know. Um, so I
So you can still, I mean, maybe to be clear here on the stream on the playthrough is that even though you die, it's permanent. You're starting over again, but you can still get coins here, and then you could go back, and then you can earn a perk or two.
Yes. And this one also has a weird. It actually has a level system that you unlock at one point. That even though you die, uh, if you play a class enough, you'll actually start gaining that like legit experience points for that class. So the next time you play the class, it'll have like more hit points, or it'll do more damage or something like that. Uh,
Yeah, there are. I've played some of the Rogue games, because it's been just like the popular genre these last like 2 or 3 years now, ever since Rogue Legacy and Spelunky, I think, where
and
they're,
Spelunky
they're
2 is coming out too, which
and
is funny.
Spelunky too. Yeah, yeah. And instead of dying and just starting completely from scratch, yeah, there's some games out there with a leveling system where you can maybe keep one of your perks for the next time, where if you're level 3 then you could take a little bit more damage each time, but yeah, it takes a while to reach each level. So whether it's a level and you're increasing your energy bar, or you're saving some type of like a permanent perk, so even if you die, you can still keep it. Like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
be stronger, but I'm gonna take a little bit more damage, right? So it's usually a give and take. A lot of these games, it's rarely where it's just like you have +1 attack. No, it's usually +1 attack, but then you're gonna get -1 defense. So it's not necessarily getting better. You just have to adjust your play style to how
How
you kind of want
exactly
to play
did you
the
want
game.
me to do this without jumping, I wonder?
That could be an early access kind of a thing. That
Uh,
you were supposed to beat that screen without jumping?
that's the original Rogue Legacy had fairy chests as well that they'd occasionally be like, "Hey, get to this chest. No, like no jumping, no doing this, no doing that." And it's like it normally would be something like no damage, no this, and it's like um and it would be like a little challenge and you'd normally get like a excuse me, like a blueprint or something out of it. Um uh, yeah, I guess.
I don't know how I feel about this art style.
It grows on you.
Really?
Yes,
Yeah, I
which
think, I
is
mean, just we've only been playing it
I
for a few
actually
minutes at this
hated
point,
it
but
the first time that I saw it. I absolutely
yeah,
detested it.
yeah,
Um, and literally, the longer I played it, I was like, I like pixelation better,
I,
but
yeah. I like the more
this,
pixelated look of the original versus this is like the
yeah, but this,
vector art.
it becomes less offensive because it's like it's not quite. It doesn't feel like as hand drawn as you'd want it to be.
Yeah,
But it actually I guess the best I can say is it's less offensive the longer you play. It sort of just grows on you.
you're like, I don't know if I like the guy, you're the knight or whatever that you're playing as. I know it just seems
It's a
like
yeah.
kind of cheap or so, or like too generic or something like that. I
It's
don't know.
sort of like Steven Universe-y sort of
It's I
generic
hate
like
I hate to say it,
flash
but it's like,
animation or
I was just
like
gonna say that's like the term to use. Oh, it looks like a flash game, but I kind of hate saying that because it's I don't know if it's
well, your
fair to
Flash is
call it
now
that, but
debunked.
now it's gone. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. So in a way, maybe it's cool
Rip
to kind of keep it
Flash.
alive. Yeah, yeah.
Uh yeah, I hate this less. The longer that the art style less the longer that I played the game. Um, it definitely grows on you. Of course, I want triple
Icarus
jumps.
wings. Yeah, oh yeah. Is this level based? So eventually you'll get to a level and there'll be a boss, and then you kind of go to like level 2, and then you kind of do it all over again, or is
Yeah,
it like
so it's just like the first one that
okay?
there's like there's the additional levels. One of the reasons you haven't seen me actually going into them is that I think they've only done two at the moment. The problem
Hmm.
is that like so in the first one there were runes that you could pick up and, and similar things, but I believe the runes you would go to the runesmith or whatever and she would attach them and they weren't super hard to either they weren't super hard to find or she just had them. And this one they're sort of a rare find and you have to complete a challenge to have them to
Hmm.
do them. And every time I've ever gone there to do like a rune challenge, the first time I ever find a rune challenge, I have almost no health, so that's fun. And then after that, it they legitimately are a challenge, and you have to fucking uh, it's basically a puzzle. So you have to you can't go. It almost feels like you can't go in blind to a lot of them. Because you'll just end up taking too much damage. So it's yeah. I hope you enjoy, you know, dying.
One of the things that I thought was just kind of unique, even just in that last room, and you've been doing it the whole time, but you can actually like cut down some of those spikes, or is it bramble or whatever
Yeah,
that
it's bramble.
round
Yeah.
stuff? Yeah, that I think is not too many games where you can cut down the spiky stuff on the floor. You know, granted,
Yeah,
and that
that's a
you
new
still
thing that
have
they added
spikes.
that I kind of liked.
Yeah, there's still legit spikes, but the bramble just kind of cool that you can cut it if you want to take the time.
Yeah. So the areas, I know that they added the second one. I don't. I think you get to the third one, which in the second game, the third one, it's like the top area was this was it the top or the whatever. The second one is, I believe, in the game, but like the third area is not, or and the fourth area isn't either. And you get there, and there's just a note from the developer that's like, "Lol, early access."
Yeah, we'll get there eventually. We know.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, the only reason I almost never buy things in early access, and the only reason I did is they're a trusted developer. Even on the site, I will say straight up, do not buy things in early access. Do not trust people with your money. People are not trustworthy. Every time someone says something is in early access, they're invincible for the next 3 hits. I don't want either one of those.
Yeah, we've played. I mean, we can't even count the number of early access games that we've
That have just never came out. They just
some
didn't.
that have
They just
yeah,
didn't
some have
come
been
out
bad.
afterwards.
Yeah.
Um, some that didn't come out, some that did. Like some early access games do come out, absolutely, and some that like that's the one thing that like, say anything that you want to about Minecraft. It was the absolute worst thing to happen to the video game industry, and I will never, ever, ever take that back, because Minecraft was the worst thing to happen to the video game industry, because people were like, oh, it was okay for him to release in early access, it'll be okay for me too.
And it was in early access for years.
Oh yeah.
Years.
Oh yeah, and the funny thing about early access on Minecraft was when he was in early access, like the beta, it wasn't even beta, like the alpha, like people refer to that alpha as, like, people still play the alpha. And I remember playing the alpha of Minecraft. And that was rough.
Is that you can still play the alpha version?
Oh yeah, and Notch still supports it.
I did not know that.
Well, that wasn't helpful. Fuck you.
So you can do the lamp light jumps.
Yes.
You could do that in the Messenger. I played the Messenger on Game Pass. I don't know if
Okay.
you played the where it's, think of it like a Metroidvania, but it's 8-bit, and then halfway through the game, you get a power, and then everything switches to 16-bit. And the whole way to traverse the game is, you got to jump, but then you swipe the light or the anything that kind of glows, and then you get another jump, so you can kind of keep jumping as long as you like hit something or hit a light or a candle or whatever it might be. So they might have kind of stolen that idea, and it works. Like you can get some tricky platforming segments for right here, exactly. So here's a way to these are platforms, but the light jumping mechanic is kind of cool.
Yeah, and EA Game Pass hasn't come to fucking Ultimate, which is weird.
Wait, what?
EA Pass hasn't come to
Oh,
Ultimate.
EA Pass, yes, correct. Yeah, EA Pass is on And speaking of which, I actually played through the other week with my friend online A Way Out. Have you played A Way Out? It's a co-op only
Yeah.
game, and it's made by like the crazy dude who like went off on who was like swearing at the Game Awards a few years ago or whatever. So, but yeah, it was it's a short game. It's only a I don't know 5 hour game or something like that, and I thought it was the ending was kind of crazy. If you haven't played A Way Out, kind of recommended if you got a buddy to play it, over a weekend. You can kind of beat it in one or two sittings if you work at it.
What was he the one that was like? I don't know. What
Yeah,
was
he's
he swearing about?
he was just like, oh, this is my fucking time to shine, and like he didn't care, and he was clearly like the most crazy dude on stage. That game. He was on the Game Awards just a month ago when it was in December, announcing his new game, which is also a co-op only game.
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
But yeah, I'm glad to see the EA
Co-op only.
games.
Fuck that.
It's yeah, the EA. It's nice to have EA games join Game Pass. It makes me wonder, did Microsoft give EA a bunch of money
Yes.
to do
The
that?
answer to that is yes.
Or I'm thinking, you're yes, you're probably right, but there could be where Game Pass was just dominating and nobody cared about EA's subscription. It was just completely overshadowed by Game Pass. So there may
No,
be like maybe
it's
we
the
can,
first thing. It's the
yeah,
first thing.
and Microsoft. I mean, but you think how much money EA has too. So for them to say like, yeah, that's enough money for us to do this, I don't know. I would like to hear how that conversation went down.
Fuck this.
Rogue games are not meant to be easy.
Okay.
The other game that I just played through and beat was Blaster Master 02. I don't know if you're a fan of Blaster Master, but I am. I've been playing Blaster Master ever since the NES game. I even beat the WiiWare game. There's a WiiWare version, but I played through Blaster Master 1. I thought it was pretty good. I was excited about Blaster Master 2, developed by Inti Creates, and I was not happy with it. A lot of the level design is kind of tedious, and you go the whole game taking hits, and it's fine because there's health pickups and everything along the way. But then they add in these just, in my opinion, horribly designed one-hit kill where if you make like one stupid jump, you got to make a series of like crazy jumps to get past this. Then you die. You fall in the spike pit or you fall in the,
Cocksucker. Yeah.
you know. So I beat the game and I did not have any motivation. You got far, man. But I beat Blaster Master Zero. I did not anticipate going back and like getting everything because I was like, I'm just done with this. I got the there's two endings, the good ending, the bad ending. I got the bad ending, and then to get the good ending, you pretty much just have to get everything in the game. And I'm like, I am not going to spend another 2 hours to do this. I'm done. So I didn't write a formal review, but if I had to review Blaster Master Zero 2, I'd probably give it like a 6. It wasn't. I got it on sale. It was, five. I think I paid $5 for it. But I was just disappointed. I was expecting more. It should have been better for a Blaster Master game.
Yeah. All right. So what do you think about Rogue Legacy? I think it
Yeah,
shows promise.
it does. Yeah, I mean, it's even in early access. This game will come out on everything eventually.
Yes.
The first game did. It has a huge cult fan following. It's been years since the first game came out. I don't know, 4 or 5 years maybe.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So I feel like it's been a while. So yeah, you give it a little bit more time, get it out of early access, and it'll be what fans want it to be. It'll be. It already is a pretty good game. So
Yeah, it's better
but
than some stuff that's currently out.
yeah, it's better than a lot of the other rogues, and there's so many rogues. We talked about this before,
Yeah.
but anyway, yeah, thank you for watching. You could follow us at mygamer.com. Go there, put us in your favorites. We posted up a bunch of reviews in 2020, and we already have a bunch scheduled to post for 2021. You can follow me on Twitter at ZackGaz, ZackGaz. And until next time, thank you for watching, and game on.